What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV back here for another preview video for you guys today. And today is the most eagerly anticipated preview for the Leeds away game.
I thought this was the last one of the season.
Well,
so
that is exactly why. That is exactly why, because we can't wait to get this season out of the way. So I was actually so much looking forward to this weekend just because what it signals, and it signals the end of a terrible campaign for Tottenham Hotspur. And to be honest, not too much looking forward to next season either, the way things stand. But it is a massive game this weekend, not for Spurs, but it is a massive game for Leeds as they try and stay in this division. How are you looking at this game?
Look, we know it's a massive game for Leeds, bigger game for Leeds than it is for Spurs, of course. Spurs still need victory to get European football, with Aston Villa playing Brighton at home on the last day of the season, so no guarantees that Aston Villa win that game. Brighton are a very difficult team to play against, with us being a point behind them. So Villa need to win as well. But Leeds are going to be fighting tooth and nail to getting all 3 points of this game. Only a win can save Leeds, and even that might not be enough. But all they can do is just do all they can, and that's win the game. And I think that in a way can suit Tottenham, because I think Leeds have a terrible defence. Leeds' back line is really poor, and quality-wise, and they've been very open as well. So I think, in a way the game is set up probably favours Tottenham, but given our away form and how we usually crumble under pressure when teams get really aggressive against us, when the crowd get really loud, which Ellen Road you would imagine is going to be absolutely rocking on Sunday, with the expectation that they're going to be fighting to survive. You think it's going to be a loud atmosphere. These are things that we've really struggled with of late, to be honest. So from that point of view, I'm not confident we'll get a victory. But in terms of how Leeds are going to approach the game and how that will suit us, I think that will actually play into our favour, because I think Leeds needing a win, meaning they should really throw a bit of caution to the wind, and that should leave space for our superior attacking players to really exploit that. Yeah,
I mean, the form of the two, both of these clubs are in absolutely wretched form, to be honest, and Leeds are actually one of the only clubs in the Premier League that have worse form than Tottenham Hotspur. Leeds are sitting 19th in the form tables. If you're looking at the last 5 games, they've only picked up 2 points in that time, when Spurs have picked up 4 points in that time. But the away form for Spurs, we haven't won an away game since January in the Premier League, since we beat Fulham. They haven't won a home game since they beat Nottingham Forest, I think about 6 or 7 games ago. So, it is really a big battle of the terrible teams in the Premier League at the moment. And even since Big Sam has come in, he hasn't really seemed to pick things up. Yeah, I think, and also with injuries as well, going into this game, you've got to be concerned as a Leeds fan. Big Sam, to be fair, he's come in, they've lost 2-1 away to City, drew 2-2 at home to Newcastle, then lost 3-1 away at West Ham. I think the West Ham one was the big one, really, where you thought they really could have got something out of that game, 1-0 up, and they unfortunately crumbled from their point of view, and that has really put them in a tough spot going to this last game. But I think they probably, when you look at Sam Allardyce, having 4 games to save the season, it was too little too late when they brought him in, let's be honest. You're never going to save a season in 4 games' time. It was kind of wishful thinking, I think, that he was going to be able to go on a bit of a run in 4 games and save Leeds. So this is probably the best, in a way, they could hope for, just keeping it alive in the final day and seeing what they can do. Obviously, I'd rather it be in their hands, but unfortunately, because they've been that bad, it's not going to be the case. In terms of form-wise, they're scoring, but they're just conceding so many goals. They're just conceding way too many. It's going to be difficult to see them not concede against Tottenham as well, because Kane probably wanted to hit that 30-goal mark. He's going to be up for it. And obviously we have good forward players, so are they going to be able to shut us out? I don't think so. And the problem for them is they got injuries in the forward line. Bamford and Rodrigo really struggling to be fit for this game. And without those two, where are the goals coming from for them? That's the big worry. Even against our bad front line, our back line, sorry, you're thinking, where are they scoring? Yeah, it's very true. It really is very true. And this game usually does promise goals. I mean, we scored 4 goals against Leeds, both in the away fixture and the home fixture last year. 4-3 at home, which was a crazy game. 4-0 away.
That was this season, 4-3.
Sorry, 4-3 this season. 4-0 away last season was one of our best performances of the season last year. I think Matt Doherty was, it was when he was having that really good run, wasn't it? And since they've come into the Premier League, though, we have lost at Ellen Road 3-1 2 seasons ago. So I think when you're looking at this game, I mean, everything probably tells you the team that Spurs are going to put out, with the injuries Leeds have and the form that they're on, probably tells you that Spurs will go into this game slight favourites. But I just have my reservations with our away form. I just can't back us to win. It's just impossible to.
Yeah, how can you not? After we've lost 4 away games in a row, we haven't won since January. So you look at that, and as well, when we've played relegation battling teams, 3-3 away at Southampton, 1-1 away at Everton as well recently. So you can't have much confidence as a Tottenham fan that we're going to be up for that battle.
To be fair, those are our better results.
They are, yeah, draws. I guess we got something out of those games and probably should have won them because we were winning up until late on. And obviously, to be fair to Mason, the away games he has had in charge, Liverpool away and Villa away, they're not the easiest games, are they? So no. I know we've lost them, but they're not exactly games where you expect us to win.
And in both those games, I think we had periods of really good play. I thought the first half against Aston Villa was absolutely atrocious, but we came back a little bit in the second half. And the Liverpool game, I know we went 4-0 down, or was it 3 or 4-0 down very early?
3-0 down, yeah.
But after that, I thought we performed quite well, really well, actually, at Anfield.
Yeah, well, true, and we got it back to 3-3, and only a mistake late on cost us. So based on that, I do think we will cause Leeds some trouble. It'll be interesting to see what the kind of state of play in this game is. Are Leeds really going to come flying up the traps and dominate possession and really be aggressive from minute 1? Or is it going to be kind of a very nervy performance where they just try and grind out a 1-0, maybe try and keep it tight and just try and exploit any mistakes we make? I think that will probably be their best course of action, in my opinion.
I think it'll be the latter.
Because if they do that, if they make sure that they're not conceding any stupid chances, they know they'll get chances against us, against our back line for sure. And if they can back themselves to take one of those chances and make sure that they're just really compact, really aggressive and not giving Tottenham anything, that's probably the best course of action and probably will lead to them getting a better result. But if they come flying out the traps and try and go toe-to-toe with us straight away, I can see Tottenham exploiting some of their gaps at the back.
Yeah, I mean, there could be a case of just Leeds wanting a lot more than Spurs this weekend. Obviously, we're fighting for Conference League. I don't think anyone in the Spurs squad is probably excited about getting into that Conference League. We are not, like I said, keep saying, we're not playing well at the moment. And I think it will be a switch up for Leeds, and I really think they're going to go and really want it this weekend. And I think it's going to be a case of who wants it more on the day. And I really believe Leeds are going to be the one that wants it more. They're going to want their Premier League survival, even though a win might not be enough to secure that. But in terms of the star men which we've picked out Jack Harrison and Gnonto. Gnonto is actually a player which I've really been impressed with this season. He's come in, he's quick, he's tricky, probably maybe should have a few more goal contributions than he does have, with 2 goals and 4 assists. And Jack Harrison, he's another player who's been linked with us time and time again, really, over the past couple of years.
Yeah, he's a young winger. He was one... probably last season, I remember, he was playing a really good level, and he was linked to Tottenham this season. We didn't really follow up that interest. In terms of Gnonto, the guy is 19 years of age, Italian international, actually, and he's really burst onto the scene this season, full of exuberance and dribbling ability. And what I'm really impressed with is his technical ability. He's scored some unbelievable goals. I remember one volley in the FA Cup against, I think it was Cardiff, was unbelievable finish.
Scored 2 that day, yeah.
And he's he's got really high potential. I do think to see him sticking with Leeds even in the Championship, though. I don't think he'll itching to move at his age, but he's one who, especially against our right-hand side, if Emerson's playing, I guess is not so much of an issue, but I can see if Porro's playing right back, he can definitely give him a torrid time. We'll have to wait and see who's fit up front. If Bamford and Rodrigo are both out, they're in big trouble, but Rodrigo's had a brilliant season. Pretty much from the start as well, if he's fit, and even since he's come back from injury, he's still been scoring goals as well lately. So he's one obviously to watch out for. But the wingers are going to be very dangerous for Leeds United. So we've got to make sure that we're on our game and making sure that they're not winning the one-on-one duels, because that's where they're going to get their most joy.
I really rate Rodrigo. I think he's a really good player, and I think he showed last season, maybe in the second half of the season, what he can do. This season, 13 goals and 1 assist in an injury ravaged season as well for him. I know he has taken part in 30 games this season, so he hasn't missed that much. But what do you make out of Rodrigo? Do you think that he could get a move to a bigger team if Leeds do go down?
I don't know about a bigger team, but I do think he can get a Premier League move. My mind thinks he'll probably go abroad. Because he'll probably go back to Spain where he was maybe happier. But he has had a really good, it did take him a bit of time to adjust to the Premier League, but he has now fully adjusted, and maybe there will be a few teams after him next season. But I don't know if he'll go to a top half team. I do see him still being a bottom half Premier League player, especially because I think he's 30 years of age now.
32 actually.
32. So yeah. I don't see him getting a big move, to be honest. I think if he's going to be in the Premier League, it'll be another team in the bottom half, but willing to take a punt, because he's probably going to command decent wages. The fee, I can see the fee being fairly reasonable at his age, but his injury record isn't fantastic. So
you're probably looking at, 10, 15 million, something like that?
Yeah, exactly. So I think I can see a bottom half team in the Premier League probably taking a punt on him next season.
Or like one of the promoted sides, I reckon he'll be really good for them.
Yeah, I can't see him sticking around in the Championship, though.
Imagine if Luton or Coventry come up and they get him, that'll be a massive coup for them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, for sure. And he's one of those players you can rally around, but you just got to be careful with his injury record.
And I like his mentality as well. He always seems to be giving his all and stuff like that, which maybe you don't associate with some players coming over. But let's look at their predicted lineup that we've gone for. I mean, look at this defence. I mean, this is a Championship defence at best. It really is. With those back four, Strike and Ayling on the flanks. I mean, we've got enough to get at that this weekend.
Yeah, 100%. We definitely do. It's just whether, if they play that defence with a solid midfield like we're seeing here, Forshaw, McKennie, Robin Koch, they're really defensively minded midfielders who are going to be plugging the gaps, so to say. So if they're doing that formation under a Sam Allardyce structure where they're probably sitting deep looking to counter, then it's going to be very difficult to break him down. But if they're of the idea that they need to really come at us and try and win the game, then that back line is going to crumble under any sort of stress from our front line, in my opinion. So it depends how Allardyce approaches the game. But that back line is definitely... Look, it's the reason why they're in the position they're in, because I think their forward line is not bad. And even midfield, they've got people like McKennie, who's not a bad player, but in the back line, they're just really short of quality.
In terms of, if you bring up that lineup graphic again, in terms of the players here and on the injury list, is there anyone in there that you think, all right, he might be a good addition to Spurs if they do go down? Maybe Nonto?
Nonto, but again, I don't think he comes in. Well, I guess he comes in as a squad player.
At 19, you can't really ask for more 19, as a squad player.
Yeah, he's pretty decent.
Sinistera, potentially?
I like Sinistera, but way too injury prone.
Somerville? Somerville's not there, but...
Yeah, Somerville, no. I like the look of him, but I think he still needs to develop more. I like the look of Nonto a bit more. Other than that, I'm struggling. Obviously, McKennie we've been linked with heavily, but I haven't been that impressed with him since he's gone to Leeds.
I think he's been shocking since he's come. He really has. I mean, the reputation McKennie has is like a strong, hard midfielder, and he gets bypassed so easily week in, week out. I just don't get it with him.
I'm not sure what it is. If it's I don't know, because he's come in on loan. I don't know if he's going to move permanently. Probably not if they're... Did he come in on loan? Yeah, I think he's on loan. He probably won't move permanently if they're in the Championship. He's just been really poor. I don't know if it's a mentality thing, whether he's has that mentality of being a lone player and doesn't really care that much if the team get relegated, or whether it's just he's not suited to the Premier League right now, or maybe needs time to adjust. Maybe it's the team he's playing with is exposing him and it's making him cover more ground. There's a few factors potentially, but Yeah, I think he's had a really, really poor loan spell at Leeds, and if that was an audition for a maybe to get a move to a bigger club, I think he's failed.
100%. And though, you know, those reservations weren't there. I mean, we've spoken about him a lot on this channel on Tottenham updates and whenever we've been linked, and we've also always been of the thinking that he could maybe do a job in the Tottenham midfield, but I've gone completely the other way now, and I think that it would be a big mistake if we were to pursue that link, but I don't think we will anyway. Look, just talk to me about how happy you are the season's ending.
Yeah, I just need it to end, man. It's just been so depressing. I'm so happy that these away games, like, they're coming to an end. We haven't won away since January. I'm just so sick and tired of watching Tottenham away from home this season. It's been a real drag, and hopefully now we can put that to bed. And next season, under a new progressive manager, whoever that may be, hopefully next season can just be a bit more fun, get the life back into Tottenham, because this season has just been mentally draining, let's be honest. Because you just want something to believe in, whether it's Conte or something, and everything has just fallen by the wayside little by little, and it's just really drained the life out of this club, and it's led to the situation where we are now, where we're in a massive mess. So I think that next season we need a big factory reset. We need the values installed back into this football club, and hopefully this will be the last time we talk about Spurs in this light for a long time.
I'm not too sure about that, to be honest, with the way things are going. It looks as though we are going to break our record for the 71-day manager search. Managers come and managers go, but it seems as though managers just go now from Tottenham. They don't even come anymore. So, look, we'll see what happens with that. But what's your score predictions going to this one?
I said it will be 3-1 to Spurs. I said Spurs will win. That was my prediction. I'm just banking on the fact that our attack will be able to exploit their backline, especially maybe as later in the game, if they're not winning, they might get a bit desperate and they might throw some players forward knowing that they need a win. And then that can be the time when Tottenham really exploit them. I'm not 100% sure how Allardyce will approach him, but I'm going to bank on the fact that if they need a win, he's going to come and try and win the game. So I think that could suit Tottenham. So I'm going for a 3-1 win.
See, I don't think Allardyce will set up like that. I think Allardyce is going to, you know, play his own way, and the way he likes to play is, you know, men behind the ball, make it compact, make it tough for the opposition to play in. And I think he will do that and just try and nick the odd goal. Look, I still think if he does play that way, their defences can majorly get got at with how poor they are. So I'm actually going to go for a 2-1 Leeds win, because like I said before, I think that it's going to matter very much on the day who wants it more. And I think the crowd behind the fans, the Leeds fans behind the team, I think will be a massive impact in this game as well. So I'm going to back Leeds to actually get the win. I just can't back Spurs.
Mason has said Romero is injured, so I might have to change my prediction. No, I'll keep with it.
Yeah, so Sim's going for a 3-1 Spurs win. I'm going for a 2-1 Leeds win. I want to know your score predictions in the comments section below, and I want to know also how excited you are the season has come to an end. Probably the most exciting time of the season, to be honest, because it's all about to come to an end. But thank you everyone for watching. That is our match preview for the last game of the season. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.